Good morning, students. So this is your GS sir. So we are dealing about medical electronics. So even now, before going into the session, let's see what all we have seen. So let's have a review of a rewind of what we have seen. So we started with introduction to medical electronics. So in that we saw why medical electronics is needed, what is the role of medical electronics, where the medical field demands medical electronics. Then we saw about IR thermometers. So we saw how IR thermometers works, what is the principle of operation, and how to design an IR thermometer. Even we had a mini project in that, right? Then we saw about biopotential. So in biopotential, we saw how voltage means the potential develops inside the body, how ionic current is being transferred to read out information. So then we saw about electrodes. So electrodes play an important role in converting ionic current into electronic current. There are many types of electrodes. We have seen one by one. We saw surface electrodes, needles electrodes, cup electrodes, and so on, right? So, and then we saw about bioamplifiers. So we saw why bioamplifiers is needed, what is the role of bioamplifier, what are the types of bioamplifiers. So in one line to say, to convert microvolt to voltage range or millivolt to voltage range, we need bioamplifiers. Then we saw biomedical recorders. We started biomedical recorders. So biomedical recorders are the equipments that will record the activity that is associated in any organ. So we started with ECG, so electrical activity associated with the heart. Then we saw about EEG, so electrical activity associated with the brain. So there are many procedures like we saw it in detail, right? Then in yesterday's class we saw about electromyogram. So electromyogram is the procedure to record the electrical activity associated with the muscles. It can be in any part of the body. So with that, the first unit gets almost over. So let us get into the second unit. So today we are going to get into the second unit where we are going to see about assisting device. Assisting means helping. So this in the introduction class we saw that there are two major streams the medical electronics works. So one is assisting device, the another one is the device that will really help in fixing the problem, right? So first we'll see assisting device. The first device that we are going to see is cardiac pacemaker. So the fourth unit will be treating devices. So what are the devices that are used to treat? So now it is assisting device. So cardiac pacemaker. So that is the title today. Cardiac electrocardiogram. Even in that I told you what this cardio means. Cardio means what? It is heart, right? So pace is a new word. Maker is doing creating something. So now the word pace literally means he is going in a pace. Pace generally means that something that happens in a stable manner. So that is called as pace. Now the heart rate or pumping is going to make stable using some equipment. So that is called as cardiac pacemaker. So before going into that equipment, you will see why cardio pacemaker is required, where it demands, how it actually helps in fighting for life. So this is the actual pacemaker. This is one of the pacemaker. I think the same animation I showed you in the introduction class. So this is actually an implantable pacemaker. So here is the pacemaker. So from here the wires is running out and getting connected somewhere inside the nerve. You can see that it is making an electrical impulse, so out of which the heart is functioning. When the heart functioning, the ECG goes, it shows PQRS waveform. So this is the real time scenario, or this is how it will look like, right? So going into the function of heart, you can see what actually heart is doing. So when heart pumps, the blood goes all around the body. So here this animation, it shows only half side of the person, but it goes to the entire body. But what happens when some problem happens in functioning of the heart? So to understand that, how does heart functions automatically? So we saw that when a person is alive, the heart pumps automatically. But who is responsible for making this heart pump? So that's what we are going to see. This animation is beautiful. This shows the nerves connected to the heart, which makes the heart to pump. If you see, check from where does the signal originates. You can see that there are two nodes here. So in circuit theory, you would have seen about nodes. So what is node? It is interconnection of wires or a junction, right? So more than three or three means it is called as junction. If it is two, more than one means it is called as node. So you can see that from here, right here, the signal generates. It goes to here and it then comes here. If you note carefully, two things are happening. Actually, the signal is originating here. It goes to atrium and then it comes, at the same time it comes here. For the next, when the atrium, when the signal is not going to atrium, it goes to ventricle. So you can see that there are two nodes, but actually the signal originates from this node. So we have name for both the node has its function. Understanding this is very important. So this node, so the pointer, this node is called as sinoatrial node or sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node is responsible for generating in electrical pumps. So in electronic circuits, there is a device or there is a circuit which will generate a waveform. So what is that circuit called? A circuit that is used to generate waveform.
Function generator.
Function generator, especially inside the function generator, it is oscillator, right? So similarly, likewise, here we have a sinoatrial node, so which will generate a pulse, a momentary pulse. So that pulse will be actually a round top square pulse. So the top will not be flat as we have seen. So it will be a round top square pulse. So this sinoatrial node is responsible for that. There is another node here, which is called as the second one, atrioventricular node. So sinoatrial node is called as SA node. Little bit of biology before going to equipment. The next node is called as atrioventricular node. See, actually, when the atrium pumps, this should not pump. When ventricle pumps, this should not pump. So, but the signal, there is only one signal that gets generated. There is only one oscillator. There is only one node, the signal gets. So, this atrioventricular node functions like a delay or a delay with a relay. So, that's what the work of atrioventricular node. The signal originates, directly goes to atrium, left side, left atrium and right atrium. So, that time it should not go here. So it generates a momentary relay. So this atrioventricular node, and after a delay it gives to ventricles so that the blood can be pumped. So this is simply like a delay unit, and we call it as a relay because it connects the nerves to ventricles and it stimulates them. So that is what the role of. But actually the problem doesn't happen here. The problem happens in sinoatrial node. Means when does the heart stop functioning? Means when the sinoatrial node will fail. So that's the next question actually. So do you understand the operation? Actually, this is the oscillator, sinoatrial node. So it gives signal to atrium and ventricle. It should not, the signal should not go to atrium and ventricle both at a time, because both will start functioning. The blood cannot come. So first the blood has to calm down, and from here more pressure is given, so that it goes to the entire body. For example, it goes to here, the entire body, right? The ventricle needs to pump in such a way that it goes. So both should not happen at a time. So that's what the role of, right? Now what happens when sinoatrial node fails? Normally it doesn't fail, but when it fails, can you imagine what will happen? There is no signal generated to give to the heart. So what will happen?
So that
This is what will happen. So this you would have seen in movies. When it goes to movies, there will be beep also coming. Beep. So when the beep comes, what does it mean? The person has passed away. So this means that we have lost somebody, right? So when does sinoatrial node fails? This is a discussion question. So So when do we think it fails? Sinoatrial node is inside the body. Sorry. When does it fail? There are two possibilities. One is the sinoatrial node can generate a signal, but it may not reach this node or this, because for example the oscillator might be fine, but the problem will be the probes. So when the nerve has a damage, the nerve has a failure, nervous system breakdown, they will call it like Naramba Tavasira. So when there is a problem with nerves, the signal may not reach the heart properly, but the sinoatrial node may be perfectly fine. So that is one possibility. And the second possibility is that sinoatrial node itself has got weakened due to aging of the person, and it has almost down. The sinoatrial node is almost down. So those are the two reasons. See, block in SA2 AV node. So SA is sinoatrial node, AV is atrioventricular node. In between there is a nerve that is connecting, carrying the signal. When that fails, somehow the person is going to fail. And the second possibility is that the sinoatrial node itself is going to fail. So what to do? So that's the question. So the medical people, the paramedical industry doesn't have any solution at all. So that's where electronics came and changed the entire scenario. So the pacemaker is the only solution which will make the heart to function back again. So from that you get life back. So it is almost like a life-fighting device. So this pacemaker is what we are going to see. So pace means a constant, doing something at a constant rate, right? So now we are going to give that same signal or a replica of the sinoatrial node signal so that the heart pumps. So this is what we will discuss today. The major parts of pacemaker. So I said that the major work of pacemaker is to generate a round top square signal. So what will be the blocks of pacemaker? Can you guess? One is the oscillator circuit, means pulse circuits. Other than that, wires means leads or electrodes. So it has two simple things. Even in the electronic circuits too, when we started, we didn't know that the oscillators will find a place in saving the lives. It is a simple application of oscillators, but doing that we can save lives. So we have a pulse generator. Other than that, we have leads or electrodes. I will touch these Y electrodes. Leads, you can understand that it is wire, micro wire, so it will run and connect it to the nerve. So electrodes will use in places where this pacemaker is external pacemaker. So what I showed was internal pacemaker. There are two types, right? So only there are two simple blocks. So one is pulse generator, one is leads or electrodes. So one thing to note, some technical points to remember. So I already told that is a round top rectangular pulse, right? So the duration means the time period of these pulses will be from 1 to 3 milliseconds. And the rate of pulse, the frequency, the rate of pulse will be 50 to 150 ppm. ppm means pulse per minute, right? This range is because every person might need it in a different way, right? Though the heart functions in 72 beats, 72 times per second average, it need not be always 72, it is around the 72. And also one more thing, that why it is in a range, see the heart, for elders, the heart itself might be weak. So in such cases, the rate of giving it might be slow or something like that. There could be some medical reasons behind this, but it is always in a range. I'll show you a video where there is a demo, so in that they will increase it. So that time I will explain it further. So these are the two simple blocks. I think I made it clear. So there are various types of pacemaker. Basically there are two types of pacemaker. So one is external pacemaker. Another one is internal pacemaker. External pacemaker means, can you guess something? The pacemaker will be outside the body. Internal pacemaker is inside the body. Internal pacemaker has another name which is called as implantable pacemaker. Implantable means you are putting it inside. There is another name also. So first moving on to external pacemaker. This is external pacemaker. It just runs with two AA batteries, and you have all the knobs to vary the time period, the voltage level of the pulse, the frequency or the ppm rate, pulse per minute rate. All these things is there as knobs. You have LCD to read out, and you have on the other side you have ports to take probe also. This is one of the big. I'll show another one. This is a virtuous. See, there are two sets of probes. So this is a crocodile clip. So this will go and connect it to, or they'll connect it somewhere. I'll show you the video. Right. So it goes to the electrodes. Red indicates positive, black indicates negative. There are two sets. So two sets is needed. We will see. So as I told you, there are digital displays, and there we can also we have things to adjust. So all these things. So this is the port where two AA's is given. So this is the external pacemaker. Question is, before next class we'll see what are the types of external pacemaker, how it is designed, and so on. Similarly, internal pacemaker and those designs. Now this is an introduction class. When do you think the external pacemaker is required? A mere guess. Whenever a rare nerve blocks happens, the person's sinoatrial node need not be completely failed, but it is in the beginning stage. Sometimes something like a heart attack or comes where he's struggling to means the heart struggles to pump. So temporarily then and there. So we have not yet diagnosed. So suddenly it means rarely it happens. Sometimes we don't in emergency cases. For the first time people are means noting it, and for that case they're bringing it to the ICU. So that time we need an external pacemaker, right? So third one, the patients may need internal pacemaker, but they need to undergo a surgery. So until surgery they might be in external pacemaker. So these are the three reasons. So one is, not often the sinoatrial node fails once in a year, something like that, or a rare nerve block, a temporary nerve blocks due to some accidents or something like that, a temporary one which can be fixed. Second one is emergency one, means we don't know what's the reason, we need to save lives in that case. The third one is patients waiting for surgery. He needs an implant, but we need expertise doctors to do it. So until then, they will keep that patient in external pacemaker, right? So we'll see how this external pacemaker works. The audio is not available. You can see that they have kept two sets of electrodes. Now this professor, medical professor, is trying to increase the pulse. You see, note here what happens when he increases the pulse. His muscles is automatically moved, so that becomes like a joke, but that's what actually happens. So the electrical impulses makes the pump. So see, this is like the first aid support. When the person is almost dead, we go and push this heart rate from external so that it may start functioning. Similarly, doing the same thing in electronical way is what this one. For example, note it again. Without his knowledge, the hands is moving. So this is now initially 30 ppm, then he will go with 100. So this is medical student. Now he goes with 120 or something, where he loses his own control. So this is what actually happens. See, the external pacemaker and internal pacemaker is different. External pacemaker, you give stimulus so that the muscles get pumped externally. But internal pacemaker is exact, we are trying to produce an exact replica of sinoatrial node signal. So we don't do anything. It functions inside, and nobody even can note that there is an implantable pacemaker. So both these things is extremely different. So this is external pacemaker generates a signal which actually pushes the muscles outside the body, out of which we tend to give make the heart pump. So that is like almost a first step. So now going to the next type. Now, how does internal pacemaker works? Yeah. So this is the sinoatrial nodes over here. Signal gets generated. This is how the heart works. You can see that electrical impulses. When there is improper electrical impulses, the heart is not functioning normally. Instead of that, this stage is what they call as quiver. Quiver means struggling to function. So now this is the implantable pacemaker, a small one. I'll show you what is the size. So that implantable pacemaker will try to route the wires into, or will connect it to the nerves, so which will go to the atrium and ventricles. After insulin, they will try to connect plus and minus. Now this is giving an external stimulus signal, electrical stimulus, which is going from here, which will make the heart to function normally. It is actually replacing the natural sinoatrial node. So, and also they will place somewhere in the near the shoulders. So that is the exact location. So on next session, we will discuss about what are the types of external pacemakers and what are the types of internal pacemakers. There are 2 to 3 types. We will go one by one, block diagram and everything. So hope I made it clear. So any suggestions?
Sir, your presentation is really good. So in starting stage, you shown some diagrammatic representations. How the internal pacemakers will be placed in our human body. I think in second slide. Some previous. So in this diagram.
Yes, sir.
So actually the pacemakers looks like it is wireless.
Okay. The wire is
actually
not,
that wire is not visible.
Okay. Yeah, it's not visible. It's white pattern.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check some other pics. And even I think here it is not very clear, black background.
Okay, is this picture clear? But actually I told that in previous diagram, better you can connect some wires there in dark colors.
Yes, sir. Okay. This one.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So apart from that, you explained about 2 categories of pacemakers, external and internal pacemakers. So in external pacemaker, you mentioned some batteries, like you used some AA batteries. So in internal pacemakers, how the power will be given to a device, so that is not represented here.
I mean, that details was not given.
Yeah. So better we can add, so how we are applying some powers to an internal pacemakers.
Sure, sir. Sure. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.